Increasing flood insurance rates remain a concern for the Lowcountry. Pending home sales slip in the month of June, and realtors are focusing less on distressed homes. We'll tell you why. All that and much more. Keep watching. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching the Real Estate News. I'm Jenny Lockhart, and here are your headlines. Realtors in the Lowcountry are focused on flood insurance rate increases and the impact they'll have on the community as well as the real estate market. Homeowners in the area have already experienced an increase in property insurance premiums separate from the federal flood program. Now, those same homeowners are at risk of flood insurance premium increases so big they may no longer be able to afford the coverage. This is thanks to new government land surveys. The real estate community is urging federal lawmakers to delay the increase until they can be made more affordable. But supporters of the reform say delaying the premium increases means people whose homes are in lower risk areas will have to pay higher premiums to subsidize those living in flood zones. A growing concern for realtors is that the uncertainty for surrounding flood insurance rates could impact the purchase of new homes, as it is difficult to predict what the new rates will be. Realtors nationwide are turning their attention away from distressed properties and focusing more on traditional sales. This is welcome news, as many agents were forced to focus on distressed properties to stay in business during the recession. When the economic downturn forced thousands of agents from the industry, the remaining agents worked directly with the banks as well as the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which sells reclaimed Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac properties. Although the broader market can be more competitive than being a bank's preferred agent, a healthier market and more regular sales means easier times for many realtors, as well as more opportunity. K. Hovanian Homes recently acquired Shell Hall in Bluffton, located at the intersection of Buckwalter and Bluffton Parkways. The company will begin building and selling new floor plans in the coming weeks. Shell Hall is a private gated community with amenities that include a full-service clubhouse, Olympic-sized swimming pool, fitness center, tennis, and bocce courts. The offices of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development will be closed on Friday, thanks to 7 furloughs that began in May and will continue through the rest of the fiscal year. According to the Island Packet, this is part of the $85 million in budget cuts to the federal budget for 2013. The Columbia office is the only HUD field office in South Carolina and will be closed in accordance with the furloughs. After reaching the highest level in over 6 years, pending home sales declined in June, with rising mortgage interest rates beginning to impact the market, according to the National Association of Realtors. Higher home prices and interest rates are beginning to impact affordability, especially in high-cost regions. Mortgage rates began to rise in May, taking some of the momentum out of activity in June, according to Lawrence Yun, NAR's chief economist. Based on year-to-date sales activity and stable contract signings expected for the balance of the year, NAR projects existing home sales to rise more than 8% in 2013. Inventory shortages will lead the median price to rise nearly 11% this year. Americans overwhelmingly believe owning a home is a good financial decision, and a majority of renters say home ownership is one of their highest priorities for the future. That's according to a survey by the National Association of Realtors. The 2013 National Housing Pulse Survey also found that renters are thinking more about purchasing a home now than in past years, while the number of people who say they prefer to rent has declined. Attitudes towards the housing market have also improved over the years. Nearly 38% of Americans identified an increase in activity within their local housing market in the past year, as well as higher housing prices. The last available property in Bluffton's Wharf Street affordable housing development is under contract and due to close next month. That's according to the Island Packet. 5 of the 6 homes in the $1.2 million project have already sold. The town has recouped its $338,000 investment in the development, located on the edge of Old Town on Wharf and Robertson Streets. Most of the project funding came from federal grants, including $737,000 from the 2010 stimulus program. Last week, the town collected its second statewide award for the project, and town officials say officials from other parts of the state are curious about the project and may try to emulate it. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, please reference the media sources you see on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Stay with us because after the break, we'll have Ron Boshaw, the owner of Boshaw Residential. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Ron Boshaw, owner of Boshaw Residential. Welcome, Ron.
Hi, thank you.
Well, now there's been a lot of buzz in the news lately about the growth in the home building industry. So what is your approach to home building?
Well, as a custom home builder, I like to approach each one of my clients uniquely, but consistently. Each person has their own agenda, has their own list of needs, desires, and budgets. So we really start from scratch with each client to help them understand the whole process of home building, and take them from start to finish, from whether it's purchasing a lot, helping them find the right architect, helping them understand their budget needs and how they're going to reach their main goal. I also like to mesh those with making sure they understand the business of building a home, how their money is going to be spent, where it's going to be going, what budgets they have, where to go shopping for certain pieces and parts, plumbing, electrical fixtures, etc. I want my client to understand that they have hired somebody that's an expert in every facet of home building.
Well, now, can you tell us a little bit about your background and experience?
Sure. This is my 24th year in the construction industry. It goes way back to graduating from Michigan State University with a degree in construction management. Out of college, I went to work for a variety of architectural firms doing some design build. That gave me the opportunity to actually design and draw the homes on paper, and then put them together and see the tangible result. It really helped my experience. It's a good part of my experience to see where it went from the design to the final stages and understand that whole process. As my career continued, I worked for various builders, from residential, custom, residential production, as well as some commercial. My career continued, and I hired on with one of the country's largest national home builders, and started basically at the bottom of that company and worked my way up to a division president position. That ultimately brought me here to the Lowcountry. In that company, I was able to learn many different business lessons. The company brought the best of the best to train us in efficiencies, productivity, business management. From there, I moved on to a local custom home builder that was building high-end custom homes here in the Lowcountry. Now with my own company, I'm trying to take a little bit of everything that I've learned throughout my career, from the design process, the business efficiencies and productivity, and the custom home building experience, to try to blend with a whole full service builder.
Sure. Now, how do you feel your background has assisted you in understanding and educating buyers?
Well, I think my clients pretty quickly understand that I have the experience, the knowledge to assist them from start to finish. I gain their confidence right away by understanding their needs, listening to what they want, and producing and providing them with what they expect. It's not a simple process by any means. But my clients quickly find out that I have the experience. My experience will help guide them to their dream, and it's quite enlightening to see some of the things that I'm able to help these people with, and it feels really good.
Well, sure. Can you give us some examples of how you educate the buyers?
Well, it really starts from just listening to what the buyers want. Specific examples, I'm building a home right now in the community of Oldfield, which is in Okatee.
Yes.
The buyers had the lot for several years. They bought at the peak of the market. And they had always planned on retiring down here. They came down, we met. I was able to walk the lot with them, and the lot was very unique in a sense that they had golf course views, but it was really at the side of the lot. They had privacy views at the back on woods. So when we started looking at how we're going to put this house on the lot, it was completely different than anything they had even thought. I helped them select an architect that was going to be able to work with them and their needs and desires. and their style of home. And what we've done is we've designed a home to where much of the living area and the viewing area is actually along the side of the home, but some of the privacy areas along the back of the home. So we have, great room, dining room, kitchen, viewing the golf course, nice porch, and we have a master bedroom and some of the secondary bedrooms on the back of the home that are much more private. It's a very unique layout. It's a very custom home, but the way we positioned the house on the lot was something that they never would have thought of, and I have to say, without my assistance, they may never have done.
Right.
And they live out of town, so they're trusting me to do this long distance. They came into town last weekend, and we stood on their porch for the first time under construction, and they just loved everything about it. It was
That's
great.
fantastic. Well, and especially to be able to trust someone to run things when they're away. Now, for our viewers watching at home, how can they reach you?
They can reach me at 843-422-9392, or they can email me at rboshaw@boshawresidential.com, or visit my website at www.boshawresidential.com.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. And stay with us after the break. Sammie Liberatore with Farm Bureau Insurance will be here with some helpful information about insurance right now after the break. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. Here to update us on the world of insurance is Sammie Liberatore with Farm Bureau Insurance. Welcome, Sammie.
Hey, Jenny. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, we've been certainly talking a lot about insurance recently. Could you tell us, does Beaufort County Farm Bureau write home and auto insurance on Hilton Head?
As a matter of fact, we do. It's been a common misconception, not only throughout Beaufort County, but also throughout the state of South Carolina, that Farm Bureau products are for agricultural interests only. Nothing could be further from the truth. We actually are open to anybody for home and auto, and we are a multi-line company. So we offer products to anybody. Basically, if it has the name insurance on it, we're going to sell it for you. We offer products on homeowners for both primary and secondary, and even if it's tenant occupied, which a lot of companies won't offer these days, we're happy to do that. So to answer your question, the answer is yes. Hilton Head, Daufuskie Island, Fripp, Farm Bureau is very active in these areas.
Okay. Now, what would you say are some of the major challenges facing homeowners looking for insurance today?
Some of the biggest ones, I would say, the single biggest one, if you ask consumers, would be price. I've had the pleasure of working in the Midlands of South Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina with Farm Bureau. I've discovered up there that a change in price sometimes meant hundreds of dollars. Here on the coast, it often means thousands of dollars. So when people go out and look for a value with their insurance, they're obviously searching for price. But the biggest challenges may be in other items, such as the age of their house, the age of their roof, the maintenance on their home, updates that are required by the insurance companies that the homeowners should do over time. If they're not upkept, they could be locked out of certain markets and could end up paying a tremendous amount of money more than what they need. I think realtors will be interested in knowing that kind of a cutoff date for roofs in the area is a 15-year. Anything over a 15-year on roof is going to be very difficult to place, not just with Farm Bureau, but with any of our multi-line companies. For some reason down here, they're not big fans of of older roofs. Another challenge I would say that people come up against are deductibles.
Yes.
I'm not going to use the word ignorance because that's not fair, because it's a complicated issue. But a lot of people are just not aware of what their deductibles are, especially when we're talking about wind and hail deductibles. And then you can get into the whether it's a named storm, whether it's a hurricane, is it a true wind and hail deductible? It can be very complicated and very confusing. It's important, and we take great pride in taking the time to explain this to our clients and our insureds exactly what their deductibles are, because if you think you have a 2% deductible and that doesn't sound like a lot on your $500,000 house, you could be surprised in the event of a claim. So having an agent, a local agent with local knowledge, is also a big deal.
Now, in addition to home and auto, what other products does Farm Bureau offer?
Well, I know a lot of people like to crow about being a multi-line agency. A lot of agencies do, but we truly are. And I'll start in no particular order. We offer homeowner and auto. And we also offer life insurance through Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, one of my favorites. We offer health insurance, both individual and group, small group and large group. We offer under 65 and over 65, so we do Medicare. And it can get exciting as well with the new reform and everything. We offer banking products. I know there's been a crossover between insurance and banking, and we can do that as well. We can sit at our computer, add your vehicle to the policy, and if you don't like your financing, we can find you new financing on that vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Some of our clients just love that. We offer flood insurance. We offer umbrella insurance. When I tell you we're a multi-line agency, we truly are.
Okay, now what would you say are the best reasons to do business with Farm Bureau?
There are many. We could be here all day, but I know our time is short.
A brief,
so,
yeah, exactly. I know.
I'll wrap it up with this.
Sure.
Local knowledge. When you talk to a Farm Bureau agent, you're going to speak to an agent. We're not going to put you with somebody in Tampa Bay, Florida, or in India. You're going to speak to somebody here local. We technically live down the street from you.
Right.
Our claim service is second to none. It's fantastic. Talk to anybody who's had Farm Bureau insurance and had a claim. I think you're going to find extremely high satisfaction. And you got extremely good-looking agents.
That's right. That's what I was going to say.
I couldn't resist.
Now, for our viewers watching at home that want some help with their insurance, how can they reach you?
Our number at the office, 843-522-0031.
Well, thanks for being with us, Sammie, and for all the helpful information.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we'll be back after the break with Sheri Nixon from Keller Williams Realty. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Sheri Nixon with Keller Williams Realty. Welcome back, Sheri. We're so happy to have you with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, so last time we talked a lot about boating, the lifestyle in the Low Country, and most especially homes with deep water access. So I know we wanted to kind of take a different tack today and talk about a different type of boating. Can you fill us in?
Absolutely. I wanted to talk about a different boating community. Last time talking about Spanish Wells, Wexford, which is what you think of when you think of boating, but also today I want to talk about Palmetto Dunes. And when you think of Palmetto Dunes, normally you just think of the beautiful beaches and the great family vacation area that it is. You think of the amazing golf courses and tennis courts, and that's what you think of. But it also has a great boating place. It has the wonderful boating community on the 11-mile lagoon.
Okay. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the lagoon system and the special features?
Yes, yes. The 11-mile lagoon, it is a great place for people to have where they can go paddleboard and kayak and canoe. They can have a dock in their own backyard where they can have a boat that has not a gas-powered boat, but an electric-powered boat. So if you're going to ask your neighbor out on a Friday night to come out in the boat, you can actually sit and have a great conversation with them. You can hear the wildlife, and there is a lot to do on that 11-mile lagoon. Besides just boating, you can also go fishing. It has great fishing. I hear they've caught 50-pound fish in there.
Wow.
But and also you do have the fact that this 11-mile lagoon, the water goes out twice a day and back in twice a day. So it's always fresh and it's always level. You're not fighting with the currents and the waves and tides that you would out in the open water.
Well, now, we were talking, over the break that you have a spectacular listing in Palmetto Dunes. So could you tell us a little bit about it?
I do. I have 5 Lookout. And what's great about 5 Lookout is it's 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, and it is such an open, cheery, bright floor plan. There's so many windows, and as you see that you can have a great deck in the back that has a panoramic view of the Robert Trent Golf Course, and then you have its own pool. You've got the 11-mile lagoon dock of your own that you can put your boat on, and it has great features, and it's a wonderful place to be. And plus, it's sort of like a triple threat, kind of as you would in a drama, but you've got a triple threat of real estate where you've got the vicinity where you're close to the 11-mile lagoon, yet you are steps to the beach, and then you do have the 180-degree panoramic golf course view.
Well, so now, what kind of buyer do you think would be the best fit for a property like this?
What's great about this property is you have choices of buyers. You can have someone who wants to take this property and use it as an investment originally. Palmetto Dunes does great rental numbers, so you can have it and they can rent it out. Yet then, they might be someone who wants to retire in it later on because it's in a beautiful residential community as well. It's on a quiet cul-de-sac, so it can be best of both worlds. You can have an investment property, yet then retire on it in it later on.
Well, and that's such a smart way to go about it. I mean, it allows people to take advantage of the incredible prices and also, you know, the low interest rates at the moment. So, you know, they start out with an income-producing property and then they end up with a beautiful primary residence when they're ready to call this home.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Now, so for someone who wants to see the property, and could you tell us a little bit about the asking price and how they can get in touch with you as well? Because it sounds like a spectacular deal.
Yes. You know, the thing is about this one, it is under $700,000 that you can get it for. So you get all the amenities, the triple threat, you get the boat dock, the beach, and the golf course view for under $700,000. And you can call me at my office. I'd be happy to help you, or someone else on my team would. And if it's in the perfect property, we will find one that is.
Well, perfect. And you can't do better than Palmetto Dunes, right? It's an amazing place to live. So,
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Sheri, for being here with us today. And thank you for being with us today. I'm Jenny Lockhart, and join us next time for your real estate news.